Okay, let me just start off this video by saying this has to have been one of the greatest weekends to be a Sonic fan. As I'm writing this, it's Labor Day Monday, the last day of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds Open Network tests. After a weekend filled with the most fun and joy I've seen from this community in a long time, I knew I had to make this video with the quickness. And yeah, let's just get it out the way. After spending over 30 hours on this beta test, if I wasn't entirely on board with Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, I'm completely sold now. I always knew that regardless of anything, this new Sonic Racer would be in its own lane compared to the other racing games coming out in 2025, but I really think at this point, we can just say CrossWorlds is right up there with Mario Kart World, if not even more fun than that game, which is insane for me to say. It isn't lost on me either, considering I spent a good while on World 2, but hear me out on this one. I'll start with the aspects of CrossWorlds that stuck out the most to me. First off, the sheer amount of customization available in this game, with the gadget slots and vehicle personalization, is almost overwhelming at first, I can't lie. But over time, I got used to it and learned what worked. I'm someone who prefers the handling types because I like being able to charge up quick drifts, and there are a metric ton of options in the customization menus to cater to this playstyle. I will say though, that it doesn't really feel like any one playstyle is the meta, so you can honestly play whatever your heart desires and still clutch up a win. On top of the gadgets are the vehicle customization options, which I probably spent a good couple hours in overall just getting my fit right. Both the front and back of vehicles are interchangeable, and along with that, you can also add decals to them to spice it up and make it look unique. I don't consider myself super artistic, but I think my boards had some decent sauce. With the item balancing, if it was just pure chaos like some other Mario Kart games, I'd probably hate it. But they really put a ton of interesting gadgets and vehicle types in the game that make it possible to play around the chaos and make it work in your favor. For example, with the Extreme Gear, getting hit with some of the more brutal items in the game like the Ninja Shuriken or Anvil would typically kill all of your speed and make it so you have to gain speed from scratch, which is why you'll see a lot of people fall from first to last if they're on Extreme Gear. But there are actually like 3 different gadgets you can build your playstyle around to mitigate, if not outright counter, the more brutal aspects of those deadly items. I personally like to use the quick recovery gadget with the item hoarder kit to give me the best odds of a comeback if I get knocked around in the middle of the pack. By the way dog, whoever was clowning on the soundtrack of CrossWorlds was actually just straight lying, because this soundtrack is really good in my opinion. With as many stages as there are, not all of the tracks are going to be super fantastic, but there are a lot of standouts within what I was hearing within the game that are way more solid than people initially gave them credit for. For example, Rainbow Garden is one that has really grown on me. The first slap track is super fast paced while still having that somewhat fantastical vibe. It's definitely one I could see myself listening to often. Sand Road, Halaska, and Dragon Road are really fantastic remixes, massive credit to the artists who worked on those. And of course, the track that is far away my favorite in the game so far has to be Wonder Museum. Holy crap, that one is like heaven to my ears. Like, just listen to this. Yeah, I haven't stopped listening to it since I first heard it. The thing that still blows my mind about CrossWorlds is the roster of characters in this game. In this build, we only got access to a limited amount of the characters that will be in the final release, but along with the typical Sonic cast, we also got to play as Joker during the Joker Festival, who will be part of the free DLC Sonic team and Sega will be releasing with the game, alongside a whole litany of third-party characters like Steve from Minecraft and Pac-Man. It's so surreal to be in a time where we're getting crossover characters outside of Sonic again, just like my previous favorite in the Sonic Racing series, All-Stars Racing Transformed. We've really gone over a decade without any third-party or outside representation in these games. I was taking it all in honestly. We really are back, aren't we? As for Mario Kart World, I won't lie. It's been a good while since I've gone back and played it, so forgive me if I miss a few points. But I do want to bring up a few things with World that I think it does well. Mario Kart World has a very large cast of characters in this iteration of the franchise, with a lot of wacky Mario enemies joining the fray along with your typical Mario Kart cast. You have to admit it's a little funny that you can play as a literal coin person of B now. Plus the multiple outfits for the main cast are so fire. Shout out to my girl Daisy, they gave her some top tier fits. The open world feels like a concept that should have been adapted into Mario Kart a long time ago. It answers the question I used to ask myself as a kid about how the tracks we race on in these games fit into each other, as well as what an interconnected world would actually look like. I was mesmerized for hours looking at all the sights and watching the sunsets from some of the best vantage points on the map. While it may lack a ton of interesting things to do for some people, I prefer to just vibe in the world, chill, and take it all in. I feel like I get the most enjoyment out of open worlds that way. And I don't even think that it needs to be said, but screw it. I'll say it anyway. The Mario Kart World soundtrack has to be the best in the series, if not one of the best gaming soundtracks of 2025. The amount of not just Mario Kart remixes is staggering, and they all sound fantastic, but they went the extra mile and just straight up remixed a ton of the Mario series staples as well. Honestly, part of the fun just roaming the world is getting to listen to a new remix that I haven't heard before. While the anti-gravity level design and mechanics from 8 are missing in World, they did a really fantastic job taking full advantage of the new mechanics in this game to create fun new versions of returning tracks, and even some new ones as well. Some of my favorites in the game are Crown City, DS Airship Fortress, and of course the new Rainbow Road. Honestly, I could go on and on about that stage, but if you haven't had a chance to play, I won't spoil it for you here. Just know that it's peak. The new trick mechanics in this game, as well as the interconnected nature of the stages, turns World into an entirely different entry into this franchise. I can't get enough of being able to grind on rails and ride walls in this game. It's such a breath of fresh air, and in my opinion helps to keep this game from getting too stale. Plus it's kinda like Sonic, so I'm just saying. And along with these new mechanics, comes a brand new mode, Knockout Tour. Friendships, controllers, and definitely TV screens are being ended in this mode. It's actually so addicting. If you're familiar with Battle Royale games, Knockout Tour is essentially a last person standing type of mode, where each round a set of players get eliminated from the game if they don't manage to pass the next checkpoint in a certain place. These races are really an endurance test and change the way you have to approach the race if you want to survive. Let's just say it's a learning curve for me. Before I finish up here, I did want to mention that I definitely understand the criticism for both of these games when it's brought up in conversation. Just to get it out the way, yes, both of these games are very expensive at $70 and $80 respectively, and honestly, while I've had fun with both games, I would not recommend anyone buy them at their peak price if that's a concern for you financially. I'll be personally waiting for a sale to pick up CrossWorlds because we know how Sega games tend to be. Also, it does suck that DLC characters in CrossWorlds aren't going to be voiced, but when it comes to my enjoyment of the game, I don't really find myself minding it as much as I thought I would, so it's cool. I'm just hoping that they can get that figured out for the final release of the game. Overall though, I really think 2025 is the year of racing games. Alongside these two gems, we also have Kirby Air Riders coming out later this month, helmed by the GOAT Masahiro Sakurai, so you already know that game's gonna be fun. There's really a ton to be excited about right now, and Sonic fans especially should rest easy knowing that the series has never really been in a better place than now. There were so many prominent creators enjoying the open network test this weekend that aren't even Sonic fans, and most if not all of them were saying that CrossWorlds is fantastic. I never thought I'd see the day. Anyway, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there real quick since I haven't had the chance to finish up my Switch 2 video yet, which is still in the works, so that should be coming soon. But I hope everyone has a great rest of your day in the meantime. Take it easy, everyone.